It's Jessica from the Leaky Boob, and recently I realized that people often ask when it comes to breastfeeding and head and be prepared. And it really got me thinking because I've parented 6 kids so far, and so far my youngest is 4, and I'm not breastfeeding anymore, and I don't even have to think about this. But there's one thing I know for sure, that when it comes to planning anything, kids are guaranteed to show you that the best laid plans of mice and men are not going to work out. So why can't moms plan ahead when it comes to their baby's feeding schedules and them leaving the house and doing something as crazy as, I don't know, grocery shopping or having a meal out? Why can't they just plan ahead? The reality is that planning ahead is minimally possible, and attempting to avoid breastfeeding in public can completely sabotage a woman's milk supply. Given that breast milk production is based primarily on frequently emptying the breast in response to the baby's demand for the milk that they need. So planning ahead when it comes to feeding your baby can be really difficult if the whole process of making milk is dependent on feeding the baby when they want to. There are few things that we can plan ahead for babies, and believe me, think I have it pretty well down, but I know I have a lot to learn. So here's what I know for sure I can plan on when I am going to be out with my baby. I can plan on everything taking 25 times longer than I thought it would. I am guaranteed to discover that the schedule and the plan I had made is not going to work, and my baby is going to have an entirely different perspective. I can also plan on the fact that they will likely poop. And the poop will probably get everywhere, largely because that's inconvenient for me, and largely because they're a baby. So I plan on there being a poop-tastrophe that's going to require an extra change of clothes for the baby, and very likely for me. I can also plan on them falling asleep at the most inconvenient time possible, and then I will be stuck debating whether or not I sit in my car for way too long and potentially destroy the entire environment running the air conditioner, or it's really just I plan ahead for nothing to go according to plan at all. So I can do my very best, my absolute best, to plan to be only out during the 15-minute segment my baby won't need to feed that day, or I can just plan ahead that I have boobs with me and the equipment I need, and I'll feed them as the need arises. Plus, did you know that infants are born with stomachs the size of a marble? Thanks to my friends from Snuggabell, I have this really neat, handy-dandy necklace that shows the way babies' tummies mature and grow and their size. And do you know what happens with a stomach this size? It fills up and it empties quickly, particularly when you're filling it with the most perfect formula, breast milk, of the most perfectly designed food that's efficiently and effectively used by the body. So the baby's going to fill this up quick, and then it's going to empty quick, and that poop explosion, that poop-tastrophe, yeah, that's going to happen quick too. But you could pretty much guarantee that even if you plan to only be out while they're not going to need to eat, this tummy is going to get full and empty. And then when it gets bigger, like this size, and even this size, it's still going to happen really fast. And these babies, well, they're going to need to eat. And I plan ahead very well, thank you very much, to feed my baby when they're hungry. And I've got the equipment to do so. Whoops. Sorry for the phone drop there. So there's my necklace, my beautiful belly beads. Yep, my baby's tummy. Gonna need to be fed frequently. And I still have things to do. Did you know that there are women who feel like they can't leave the house when they have a baby just because they're concerned, and understandably so, that some stranger is going to think that they're rude for feeding their baby? Who knew? Why in the world? How could it be selfish or rude to feed our babies? But that's what a lot of people think. So how is it that women can't plan ahead? Couldn't they just pump their breast milk? Couldn't they just take it in a bottle? For some women, that works beautifully. For some, that is not a problem at all. But here's the crazy thing. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Women aren't all exactly the same. It's true. We're all different. What works for my breasts may not work for yours. Some breasts, they don't do the milk thing at all anyway. And other breasts, they do the milk thing great just for their baby, but not so much for the bottle and the pump. And other women, they are like a fountain of blessing to a pump. It's not going to be one size fits all. And seeming to think that women should just plan ahead and pump is not quite fair to the realities of, I don't know, we're all different. And the thing is, too, our babies, they're also different. Some babies, for personal reasons, and it may be the shape of their mouth or just how they felt coming out and into this world, or it may be their personality and their energy. Some babies just aren't going to switch back and forth between a bottle, or some babies will be like, a bottle when mom's around, that ain't happening. That ain't happening because we want high, the real deal. And can you blame them? No, we can't. And are we really going to prioritize the comfort of some random stranger over the needs of our baby? I don't think so. Additionally, did you know that breastfeeding has a non-nutritive component that we are just beginning to understand? In fact, scientists are researching what happens in the brain. There's a neurological element of breastfeeding that we don't completely understand, but it is amazing. Everything from oxytocin and dopamine being released in the mother's brain that helps her connect and bond with her baby, to her baby feeling safe and secure, heart rate regulating, breathing regulating, body temperature regulating, and baby going into this relaxed state that makes them feel confident and attached. This is a really good thing. In fact, we should all want our babies to experience this if possible. And going out into an unfamiliar environment, hitting the road with mom all the way to the grocery store, needing to eat, not even if you're hungry, but if you're a baby just needing it for comfort and safety and security, that goes a long way in making that an experience that's not going to be a traumatic one for that baby. And we should be really excited to see babies being fed instead of freaking out and wondering why that mom didn't plan ahead. As we study the brains of infants, we have learned that there are a lot of other important developmental needs that are being met with suckling at the breasts. And new environments may raise stress hormone levels by a lot for a small child, and they may use breastfeeding to gently orient themselves and center themselves with their mother in that environment. This is appropriate and totally healthy for them to do. And by the way, way better than some of our comfort measures when we're stressed as adults. So, why can't a mom plan ahead? Why isn't it possible to just make sure good, beautiful thing? And we should stop limiting how women find the way to make that work for them and their family. And we should recognize that prioritizing a stranger's random issues with seeing breasts being used to feed a baby is not going to be important to a mother. We should be prioritizing taking care of our children. And so, why can't a mom just plan ahead? Well, I can, and I do. I plan ahead. I plan to meet my baby's needs when and where she has them. And for all of you moms out there who aren't sure about feeding your babies in public, I encourage you to check out the link in this setup for this video. We have some tips on that. And to just know this, we've got your back. You've got this, mama. You can feed your baby. And I hope that you know that the feelings and opinions of other people, strangers, or even family who isn't being supportive, they're not your responsibility. You don't have to take responsibility to put somebody else at ease with how you're taking care of your child. Your first responsibility is to take care of your baby. And if you're doing that, you got this. You so got this. So it's not selfish to go out of the house and feed your baby when and where they need to be fed. It's not selfish at all. It is a good and beautiful. If you're more comfortable with a cover, that's cool too. If you prefer to find a private spot, whether it be your car or another room or someplace around the corner and tucked out of the way, that's awesome. I find